Sierra Thalia or Cassandra, half of Tentacle Rape, and today we're going to do a box opening. As you can see, I got a pattern from Simplicity, and it is one of their premium print-on-demand patterns. And it comes in a box like this. Nothing special, just a little box. Well, not so little, but let's open it up and see what it looks like. And I've not opened it yet, so, except for taping the side, so bear with me as I open this. I'm kind of bad at this, even at Christmas time. Okay, there we go. Here we go. And inside, we have a lovely pattern. Awesome. Let me turn it this way. Get out of the way, Yoshi. But inside is the pattern. Well, here we go. This will make it easier, I think. There, let's prop it up. And the pattern I got is a Simplicity 2589, which is one of their older historical patterns. Or based on a historical pattern, because we know it's not 100% accurate. But it's something nice to start from, and you can change it as how you see fit to make it more historically accurate. Let's turn it that way so you can see. Aha, there we go. But it's a print-on-demand pattern, and what I noticed different right off the bat is that it is a nice, pretty white color paper instead of the normal beigey tannish tissue paper that we're used to seeing. I was kind of hoping that the paperweight would be a bit different, like something you would see from Truly Victorian or something like that, which is a kind of a bond paper weight. But yeah, it feels like tissue paper on the right side, and on the wrong side, it's a bit waxy feeling. So it's not as thin as tissue paper, but not as thick as your normal weight of bond paper. And it's not tearing like that really quickly, so yeah, much better than tissue paper. So an upgrade. So I'm okay with this. And I believe this pattern cost $24.99, not counting shipping, which got about to be around, I did the normal snail mail, so it was $34 or $5, somewhere around that mark, so with the shipping. And let's start unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. And what I noticed right off the bat is everything is not in its own separate sheets. Normally when you open a pattern, you have the instructions all set aside in their own little folded up little map pieces like you were used to seeing. And then the patterns will be separate on that tissue paper type stuff. In this case, as you can see, and I haven't unfolded everything yet, is starting from left to right. Here's the picture of what the pattern looks like on the cut envelope. And the back of the envelope. And as we keep going across, we're noticing there's instructions. And more instructions until I get all the way to the end. And if I were to unfold this all the way, which I won't because it's probably going to be a pain in the butt to deal with. We all know how a pain in the butt it is to unfold and fold patterns. Some of us can do it more proficiently than others. I got the knack for it, but I don't feel like it right now. So I'll unfold it a little bit, but as you can see, there's pattern pieces already. Remember when I flipped it this way, higher up on the paper? Instructions. Scroll down a little bit. Pattern pieces already. Oh joy. And that's a bodice piece and another bodice piece and another bodice piece. Yay for me. So the cool thing about this so far is I like the paperweight. The downside is that everything is printed on all of this together. So I can't go crazy and just go cut, 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 cut and be about my business. I have to take my time to cut the instructions and then go cut the pattern so I don't mess up stuff I need to see later. Fortunate for me, I went on Etsy last year and purchased this pattern. Yeah, I already have this pattern. And I got it actually for cheaper on Etsy. Just to let you know, you can find these older out of print patterns cheaper elsewhere. Sometimes. But in the case of this, the pattern was too small for me. And now it's borderline. And normally I do a 16 in that pattern. The next size down is a 14, and I didn't want to mess around with scaling it up, and plus I've gained weight in the past few months. Fun parts of being sick. So I had to purchase an upsize pattern. So this happened. But I probably will go ahead and just cut this without abandon and not care about the instructions on this, since I already have those instructions printed out on a older commercial pattern that I previously purchased. Why the heck not? Let's keep unfolding. Oh joy. I wanted to see how long this is actually. And it's on the floor already. Oh boy. And I'm going, and I'm still going. Well, at least I know it's just going to be unfolding and folding in one direction and back the opposite way. I want to get back together. And from the looks of things, this looks like it is one gigantic piece of paper. Holy moly! The last fold. Wait, there's one underneath here. I'm gonna stop unfolding. You get the picture. This is one continuous printed piece of paper. Wow. I don't know. Well, I mean, for cutting, if you're ready to cut the entire thing out in one sitting, which I never am, this is part of the process that I hate completely, is cutting patterns, but I guess for me, for the way I cut, because I'm a lazy cutter and I take breaks because I make this much more of a task than it should be. To deal with it, I unfold, cut, 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 unfold, cut, 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 and I keep doing that process, unfolding it so it's not much of a mess. I mean, yeah, that's useful when I think of it that way. However, there's some of us that don't care about the entire pattern sometimes. Well, in this instance, I kind of do. But if you're one of those people that just want to buy a pattern to Frankenstein it and use it for something else, and you just go through the pages that you need and cut and then put the other stuff aside, this may not be okay with you because you want to get to what you want to get to and then go about your business. In this case, you're going to have to keep unfolding this entire roll of paper and find your piece and then cut it out and then put it back. Traditional patterns come in about, depending on the size of it, 2 to 4 papers of pattern tissue paper, and you find what you need and you put it back, and it's easier to deal with because you have those smaller pieces. But as we see here, not so much. So to review, the benefits of this is that the paper weight is heavier than your normal traditional tissue paper. This is thin but much stronger than tissue paper in comparison. But I guess It's about, I'd say it's about the weight of normal normal bond paper in all actuality, now that I think about it, and I've felt it a few more times. So stronger than tissue paper, about the same weight as bond paper, but not as heavy as the weight of the paper that's used in the truly Victorian patterns, and there's a couple others I used in the past I can't think of. I know Laughing does tissue paper well, one of the ones I've used in the past with them, but so it's better than the normal paper weight. And depending on how you view dealing with the pattern paper itself, this may be more beneficial to you in terms of cutting it out to where when it's all folded back up into its normal smaller size, that you can cut and then unfold as you keep going, so it makes the going a bit more manageable. Now the downsides are, going back to cutting it out, if you just want to flip through the pages of what you need and cut that one piece out and then keep going, you can't do this with this because you're going to have to unroll it to find what you need. Yes, normally when you're going through all the pages you do have to unfold all that, but you could normally luck out and find what you need and then keep going. And this, you're going to have to unfold it all the way out. So if what you need is way back here at the end, you're going to have to keep going until you find it, and there's no easy way to get to it or find it before that. So that's the downside. And the other downside is that, again, everything is on one page, printed together, the pattern, the instructions, and any notes and guides, everything is on here. So, and even the envelope picture front and back is on here, so it doesn't come in an envelope, so you can't store it neatly inside that envelope. You do have the box, it's under here somewhere. You could use that to store it in, but that's not efficient. I mean, yeah, you can toss everything there easy, but most of us use envelopes to put stuff back in, or in my case, I use large gallon-sized baggies, and I put all my pieces in there, or manila folders when I'm working with something also. I've used that as well, but if you're just a strictly pattern envelope type of person, you don't get that with this, so that may be a not good thing for you. And yeah, you have to take the effort to cut your instructions out of this and the picture of your envelope front and back out from this also. So overall, I'm kind of torn, to be honest. I like that I can get the older out of print patterns from them now, which is great. They're available if I can't find them on Etsy or something like that, but I gotta deal with all this. So I have mixed feelings, to be honest. I kind of wish they were in smaller page, the normal size cut sheets, to be, you know. But I guess, you know what, I will probably purchase more in the future if I need a pattern that they have that's in the old library. So it's probably going to happen, and I kind of think of it, I will end up needing the underpinning for this eventually. So yeah, I'm probably going to go back to them and purchase it unless I find it on Etsy first for much cheaper, which I'm going to go on Etsy and look for it there. And if I can't find it or not my size, then I'll go back to the Simplicity website and have them printed out for me and pay another $25 plus shipping to get it, which is, like I said, about $35 total. Boy. But in this pattern, it's a Tudor style pattern, Elizabethan one, and some people have seen work in progress being featured on our on my Twitter account and on our cosplay page, which that's what this is for. My lovely French hood, pack of a Tudor style one. And like I said, I already own this pattern in a smaller size, so I had everything prepped and cut out to work on this. And again, like I said, I can't fit the pattern anymore. My measurements don't work with it, so no good for me. But the hood I could actually take care of and do, and it was really easy for what I've seen in this pattern so far, and in the instructions and everything for the hood itself. It was really easy to put together. I Frankensteined it. because most cosplayers end up Frankensteining their patterns, which means, for those who don't understand the terminology, to Frankenstein is to hack it apart and put it back together the way you see fit. You're altering the pattern for your needs. And this thing had a, the normal French hoods normally do, they have a piece, there's two pieces. The crown part and then the base. There's probably another technical term for it. I can't think of it right now for the bottom part. It goes, or the piece is supposed to go around here. There we go. On this spot, it goes around here and it goes around the back of the neck, and it's supposed to connect back here. And you lap it over with ribbons, and you tie it shut with, or pins, or whatever means you want to use to secure it. If you want to go strictly historical, or if you want to go more modern. And I didn't do that with this one. Like I said, I Frankensteined it to meet my needs, because when you're going with something that's anime, it's not always 100% historically correct when it's based off of a historical outfit, which this costume is. It's a historical outfit that's in an anime series, and it didn't kind of, the animators don't care about what is correct and what is accurate, so they did what they wanted to do, and they cut out the back piece that supports the thing to close it around the neck of the character. So I had to hack this down and make some changes to it and whatnot. And I also had to make some compromises, because the artwork and the real life, some things don't work the way they should. Like, these beads are supposed to stop part way here, but down here. But in reality, it's supposed to cover the seam where the crown meets the base, which no go for me. So I was like, no, that looks stupid if I stop it here or here. So I had to make compromises and that looked nice, but still were faithful to the artwork and faithful to what was historically accurate. It's kind of a big deal for me. I kind of like to make mishmash both of them to where it's a happy medium. But overall, like I said, the pattern is fairly simple to understand so far. And I've already read through the instructions already on this, and it seems pretty straightforward. I'm just going to have a lot of beading to do. For those of you who don't know what this is from, there's like maybe 5 people on the internet, and they're probably all guys. Well, okay, except for one person that Budgie Love. Okay, Budgie Love, both of them, and probably Wardrake Designs for in the girl category. But mostly guys out here will probably recognize this for women do. It's from Berserk, the Golden Age. It's Princess Charlotte's outfit from the scene where she and Griffin, they're outside at night at her party, and this is right before Guts and Casca show up. It's the night that Guts assassinated her uncle and her cousin. Really brutal scene, but awesome movie series. Awesome series if you want to go back to the original anime. I hope it's going to be an awesome anime that they're rebooting and starting over this summer. It's going to go back to Guts' beginning, so I kind of am looking forward to that. And uber manga fan over here. Yay! So this has been a long time in the making, waiting for to make this, because I've had this fabric in the hoard for a year. I've had the beads being slowly collected and whatnot, and this is why it takes me a while to put together big pretty costumes and things like that, because I take my time getting all that stuff together to be able to afford it. And I'm nitpicky over what I like, and I try to find things that is closest to the representation of the character as I can. And if a character has a print on their fabric and I can't easily do it in spoon flour, I will take my time and try and acquire the proper things that come pretty darn close to it. So that's why it's been taking a year to do all this. But so far, I'm really pleased with my progress. I kind of want to change some things on this already. I kind of want to add a little more bling around the velvet, maybe some little black seed beads to make it pop a little more. I don't know, but yeah. Going back to this, yay! There you go, side, front, side. The base of it is made out of buckram, and I can't remember if the instructions tell you to use buckram or not, but I know better, because I've made a couple of hats in the past. So I used buckram and millinery wire and the wires to help it keep shape. So that's not a headband underneath this. This is actually buckram sandwiched between two pieces of fleece down here underneath on the underside and top side, and then it's covered with a pretty bridal satin. Is this bridal satin? No, it's not bridal satin. It's a satin. I just can't remember what kind. I got it from fabric.com. This is some really nice velvet. It was left over from King Hoppo's Code Geass Mad Hatter costume from 2 years ago. Yeah, I keep my remnant fabric that long. And it had a use. I had like half a yard left over, so no, I had a quarter of a yard left over, but I don't like throwing out velvet. So this came in handy. I got to use that little bit of scrap to make this. The beads are 6mm Swarovski, the pearls that is, are 6mm Swarovski crystal beads. Here and down here along the seam of the crown. And then the pretty red gems are cyan colored Swarovski crystals, and they're set on Monty sliders, which means that are sliders means there's two holes on either side of the gem, so you can string them easily as a bracelet or necklace or whatnot, and they slide instead of having an unset piece to work with. I thought about using rhinestones, and people are going to think about it, but I didn't think rhinestones would be a good applicable use in this. I wanted something that looked like a real gem in a setting that looked more luxe, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And I didn't think rhinestones would be the right fit for this, so I went with getting some pretty gems in settings. And a nice lady in Georgia, outside of Atlanta, can't remember where exactly, I need to put a link somewhere, but she makes these and puts them in a setting, so I bought a bunch of them from her, and they are gorgeous, and I'm going to end up buying more from her because I got a lot of beading on this costume I have left to do for the costume itself and for jewelry that's associated with this. And these are 7mm. But yeah, I'm going to tackle the process of making all the jewelry for this. I'm crazy. The costume itself with all the beading on it, and it's extensive. Well, not crazy extensive, but it's a bit of work. But I'm the type of person, once I get beading, I kind of get used to it, and I get in a rhythm, and I just keep going until I knock it out and finish. But this is mostly done. I'm thinking about going back and putting little seed beads in here to make it pop a little extra. I don't know. Oh, how am I securing this on? On the other. Ah, heck, let's just take it off. And it slides off quite simple. Haha. As you can see, there, it's easier to look at it this way now. My pattern's in the way. Sorry about that. We'll do all that nightmare later. This is the easier way to see it. Normally the piece has has a piece that will extend like this, connected to the base, and it'll wrap around and it'll lap in the back, and then you pin it, button it, shut however, tie it with a ribbon however you see fit. In this case, I decided not to. I hacked the pattern because the shape of it was not, like I said, the same as the character of the series. Charlotte's hood is like this. So I cut out the back pieces, I lengthened this a little bit here on the sides of the base of the hood, and I put a piece of stretchy elastic back here, and it's not really a normal elastic. It's elastic hemming that you normally use on lingerie and things like that. I had a bit of it left over, so I decided, and it's pretty thick, the width of it. It's about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches when you don't fold it. So I used that back here, and it's like really glossy, shiny on one side, and it's soft, cottony on one side. I thought it would absorb sweat pretty decently, so that's why I used this instead. and it will stretch to accommodate my head. And I've already tried it out and it fits right, and I do have enough room for a wig too. So that's how I decided to use this, and you can't see it because the hair will cover all of this and go over it, and so it'll be disguised neatly. But yeah, that's how you do little extra cool things like that to make things more comfy for you as a cosplayer. And there's a few wires in here to help keep the shape of this as well. And it'll sit on the head like this, kind of like at a little angle. But like I said, I like this pattern so far. It seems pretty cool to work with. No issues. But yeah, that's what to look forward to if you get a print-on-demand pattern for simplicity. And if you have any comments or questions about it, just address them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But that's it for now, and I've got a lot of pattern folding ahead of me. So, most of y'all are probably watching Game of Thrones right now. Have fun with that. I'll wait for the books. I'm a patient person. Besides, I have Penny Dreadful starting next week, so I'm all good on that front of Sunday night TV. So, have fun, happy sewing, and if you don't know, see me at FOMOCon in about a month, 20-something days. I can't remember. I don't want to remember because I'm going to cry about having this done in time for that. So yeah, and come see me at our oh gosh, I need sleep. At our panel for children's costuming. It'll be at Friday morning at 10 o'clock. Yay! And that's it. See you guys later. And wish King Hoppo a safe trip because he's going to be leaving us in a couple of weeks, really soon. Yeah, like less than 2 weeks. Anxious.